it's Jessii Vee, and in today's video I'm telling you the terrifying legend of the Banshee. This is a creature from Celtic folklore that you definitely never want to meet. If you've never heard of this thing before, all you need to know is it screams constantly. So we're gonna get into that in just a moment. First, I just want to remind you that everything on our website, on our store, is 25% off this week, so definitely take advantage of the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. We have fully licensed Harry Potter products on our website, including this beautiful snow globe. We also have little curio jars of the classic Harry Potter pets that I love. We also have a ton of Star Wars items that we've just put up. These are also fully licensed. There are face masks, shower gels, loofahs. I'm such a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm so excited about this one. That also means that our Christmas mystery boxes are currently 25% off, so I'm gonna link everything down below for you. The free item of today is this crescent moon choker. I'm in love. You guys know I have a crescent moon tattoo, and so whenever I can get my hands onto anything crescent moon, I will do it. So starting now for the next 48 hours while supplies last, if you get anything on our website, you'll get a free crescent moon choker. Also guys, I am choosing the backdrop winner in the next few days, so if you have not entered to win yet, all you have to do is head over to my Vee Vlogs channel, subscribe, and comment the book emoji on any of our recent videos, and the winner will be announced very, very soon. I have linked our vlog channel down below. All right, so let's get into the legend of the Banshee. The Banshee is a supernatural figure from Irish and Celtic folklore. She is typically depicted as a female spirit or a ghostly figure who appears when someone is about to die. You'll hear her screams before you even see her, and that's what she is known for. Her mournful wails that will wake you up in the middle of the night. People believe that she is the spirit of a woman who suffered a very tragic or violent death. So now she sort of exists as this guide for souls, bound to her duty of warning others of their fate. And apparently her scream is like nothing you've ever heard before. The closest thing we can relate it to is the sound of a fox's call. And if you've ever heard that, it's terrifying. I'll insert a little audio clip now. So yeah, imagine hearing that. And her scream carries across distances. Some may even call it more of a piercing shriek. In some tales, only those who are about to die can hear the Banshee's cry, while in others, it's heard by family members as if she is addressing them directly. It's said that if a Banshee is heard near a home, someone within that family will die soon. However, if the Banshee's call is heard from a very, very far distance, it may be more of a general warning, maybe foretelling a death in the distant family or just someone in general in the town. And she appears in 3 different ways. The first one is an old hag. In this form, she appears as an elderly, weathered woman with long silver hair, wearing a tattered gray or white cloak, and her face is often described as very gaunt, and her eyes are very red from weeping. She also appears as a young woman, like we spoke of before. Some stories describe her as beautiful and young, often dressed in a flowing gown of white, silver, or green. Her long hair might be braided or flowing loose, and she appears almost ghostly in her beauty. This form is sometimes associated with gentler Banshee encounters, where she acts as a sympathetic figure. And the last one is a shrouded figure, which I think is the creepiest. In some tales, she is simply a shadowy, indistinct figure shrouded in a dark veil or cloak, almost like a floating mist. Sometimes you may see her face and it's kind of skeletal looking, adding to the terror of encountering her. So yeah, 3 different forms. Wouldn't want to encounter any of them, but if I had to choose, I would choose the beautiful young woman, obviously. So I want to go through a couple encounters because these are terrifying. In 1901, a young man named Seamus was sitting in his family's cottage with his grandmother who was gravely ill. It was a quiet night with only the sound of the fire crackling and the ticking of the clock, and suddenly this high-pitched scream pierced the silence. It almost seemed to come from nowhere but everywhere at once, and the scream grew louder and louder, like someone was screaming with this unbearable sorrow. And his grandmother, who had been previously sleeping, suddenly woke up and whispered to him, "It's her. It's the Banshee." She gripped his hand tightly, her gaze distant and unfocused, and just as quickly as it began, the wailing suddenly stopped. And moments later, his grandmother took her last breath. That is awful. That is terrifying. The next one is about a cold winter night where a woman named Maeve was awakened by a strange sound outside of her cottage, and she went to the window and saw a hunched figure standing in her yard covered in a cloak. The woman's head was lowered and her back was moving as if she was crying, and the figure slowly lifted its head at her, and Maeve could see even from inside the house that her eyes were bloodshot red from sobbing. And suddenly a low wail filled the air, building into this intense scream that made Maeve's skin crawl. She closed her eyes, praying for the sound to stop, not knowing who the heck this woman was. But after really thinking about it, she knew. When she opened her eyes, the Banshee was gone. And the following day, Maeve learned that her cousin, who lived in the next village, had died in his sleep that very night. Oh my gosh, it's snowing out! I'm sorry guys, it's the first snow of the season and it's happening while I'm filming. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna cry. I love snow. The last tale is in an old Irish castle where a noble family was gathered to celebrate the return of one of their kin from the war. It was a joyous occasion with music and laughter filling the grand hall, but as midnight approached, the festivities were interrupted by a chilling sound. A long, piercing wail that seemed to come from the castle's towers. The guests fell silent and some claimed to see a ghostly figure at the top of the stairs, her flowing hair and hollow eyes casting a sorrowful gaze over the gathering, and the Banshee's cry echoed through the halls. And the family instantly knew what that meant. That night, the head of the family, an elderly patriarch, passed away in his sleep. So yeah, so eerie, something you never want to encounter or ever hear. And we live right next to like a lot of forests and wildlife and fields, so it's not gonna be unheard of for us to hear a fox nearby, and if I do, it's gonna terrify me. I'm gonna think it's a banshee. Anyway, so guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want me to do any more folklore type tales, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. Maybe comment one you want me to cover down below. And don't forget, for the next 48 hours, if you get anything in our shop while supplies last, you will get a crescent moon choker. And yeah, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!